Let's go, okay?
All right.
Yippee!
Here we go.
We're back for another edition of the Funtendo Market Report on this Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. Let's jump right into it. Y'all know what time it is. It's Yoshis Yogis Tuesday.
Here we go. Mamma mia! Wow, 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 wow. Why, ya, ya, ya! Mamma mia! Okay. Let's go. Woohoo! Yeah! Ha ha ha!
Shout out to the yogis on TikTok. We like what you do. Keep doing what you do. Let's jump right into the financial news. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down for today, 96.82 points. Moving on to the other markets, the NASDAQ composite appears to be up 26.34% today. A little small gain, but still nice. The Standard & Poor 500 down minus 1.76 points today. The Nikkei 225 exchange in Tokyo, Japan, up 8.87% within the last 7 days and 8.70 respectively within the last 7 days. Moving on to the spot market, gold is up $2.30. Silver's down 6 cents. Moving into the exchange rates, the dollar gained against the Canadian dollar, the euro, the Hong Kong dollar, and the Indian rupee. Crude oil futures are up 0.96 cents today, which represents a 1.24% increase. Let's jump into the next segment, Mario Madness, where we cover the top stock gainers and the top stock losers. Up first, Janux Therapeutics up $34.65, a increase of 229.47%. Next up, Viking Therapeutics up $46.57, up $121.02. Followed by Denali Therapeutics up $6.46 for a change of 38.25%. Followed by Him and Hers Health Inc. up $3.18, representing a 31.02%, rounded out by Gautu Tech Do up $1.82, a change of $30.64. Let's jump into the top losers for today. Clairvate PLC down $1.56. Perrigo Company PLC down $4.87. Primoris Services Corporation down $2.78. Transportadora de Gas del Sur SA down 86 cents. And rounding out the top 5 losers is Unity Software Inc. down $2.02. Let's jump into the next segment. Peaches Paycheck.
Here we go.
8 ways to stretch your paycheck further. Living paycheck to paycheck can take a toll on one's physical and mental health. Yet, it's a reality for many Americans who struggle to make ends meet. While inflation is slowing, it's still an uncomfortably high level as costs remain elevated on everything from gas to groceries to utilities. The concept of stretching out your paycheck may seem impossible, but it can be done with some clever strategies and a little discipline. Money that remains after you've paid your expenses can boost savings or pay down debt, and the peace of mind you'll have from living within your means is priceless.
Yeah, Peaches
Here
got
are
it.
8 practical ways you can make your paycheck go further, along with some advice from personal finance experts.
All right.
Number 1, follow a budget. You have to be following a budget. That's the first thing. First of all, a lot of you out there don't even have a budget. So make a budget, or rather you have a budget, but you have not formalized what your budget should be. So therefore, you don't really understand how much is going in, how much is going out.
Yeah,
If
Peaches
you're like a
got
lot
it.
of people, you just go to work 9 to 5, you make your money, you spend, you buy stuff. That's not really managing your money. So the beginning of managing your money is actually creating a budget. You can do this in a spreadsheet like Excel. You can do it on paper. But as noted in the article, a budget typically includes line items for your spending categories such as food, transportation, insurance, credit card loans, payments, savings, gas, cell phone bill, electric bill,
Yeah,
internet
Peaches
bill,
got it.
all of the other things that you're going to spend your money on within the course of a month that are going to be an expense against your budget. Number 2, reduce non-essential spending.
Here we go.
So, non-essential spending, I guess a lot of people think everything they need is essential, but I wouldn't say so. You really have to look at what your habits are. The biggest way to change your spending habits is to just change your habits. Maybe you don't need coffee every day. Maybe you don't need Jamba Juice every day. Maybe you don't need to go to the movies every Friday. Maybe you don't need to go shopping at the mall every Saturday. I don't know what your spending habits are, but you have to find a way in this tough economy to reduce your non-essential spending, meaning if you can go without it, then you probably don't need to buy it.
Bingo. Bye-bye.
Number 3, eat what's already in your pantry. I guess I'm probably guilty of this because I love to go out to eat and I do not enjoy cooking as much, although when I do cook, I do enjoy it. However, eating at home is probably a great way to save a lot of money. You know, when you go out to eat, you might spend $6, $8, $10 for a meal, but when you keep going out 2 meals a day, 3 meals a day, it adds up.
Yeah,
If you were to
Peaches
eat at
got it.
home, you could eat a comparable meal for $3 to $5. So over the course of a day, if you go out for 3 meals, you could be saving potentially $15 a day. Over the course of a week, 5-day work week, that's $75. Over the course of a 1 week, maybe that's close to $100. Spend
Peachy.
wisely on groceries. Cutting food costs also means making better choices on your weekly grocery store purchases, which can leave you with more money for other expenses. You'd be surprised at how much we can shave off your food bill by following a few simple rules. The article basically goes on to say that you can buy other cost-effective items such as fruit and groceries, and there are some prepackaged foods that can cost quite a bit more if you buy them prepackaged. So let's say you go to Walmart and you go to the vegetables and fruits. Yes, they will have pre-cut up and prepackaged vegetables for you, but what the article is saying is that it's going to cost you a lot more for that. Another thing that they're saying you can save money on is by drinking tap water instead of bottled water. Now, I know a lot of you don't like tap water. If you do not have a water filtration system, I would recommend getting one because not only will it improve the quality of water, but it'll also reduce contaminants that are actually in your water. And typically they're going to have a carbon filter. The article also says that you could get your own reusable bottle with a built-in carbon filter so that you could get water at work or from school or wherever you might be, and then you don't have to incur that added expense of bottled water. Number 5, avoid impulse purchases. The next time you see or hear about something you feel you must have, think clothing, accessories, electronics, and home decor. Give yourself a little bit more time to think about it. Don't just jump right in.
Here we
There's a
go.
good chance that you won't feel the same way after you already spend your money on it. That's a good point. I think I'm definitely going to try that out next time I have the impulse to go buy something. Number 6, set monthly savings goals. Now, a lot of you out here don't have a savings goal because you don't have any savings left after your expenses. Well, that goes back to number
Mamma mia!
1, follow a budget and be disciplined. If you follow your budget and you are disciplined, then you should have some savings left over. Now, I would create a savings goal because that gives you something to look forward to. Definitely write it down. Definitely put it on paper. Start saving, even if it's a couple of dollars at a time, so that you can come up with a down payment for a house. You can come up with a down payment for a new car, a college education, a vacation, your retirement, or any other financial goal that you might have. Everybody's goals are a little bit different, but the main goal is to set the monthly savings goal and then be disciplined and follow it. Number 7, automate your savings. You can set up automatic transfers from your bank account. You can set up an automatic transfer from your employer typically. You can set up automatic transfer from any account really almost to another account where you can actually start to save some money. Put it on cruise control where you're not thinking about it, but plan for it to happen so that it's a part of your budget and it's not a surprise. If you could save an average of $50 a week, or let's say even $20 a week, at the end of the year, you'd have an extra $1,000. Number 8, shop around for insurance. Lowering your premiums on auto insurance, renter's insurance, or homeowner's insurance can help you pare down monthly or biannual bills. One way to pay less for insurance is to find a reputable provider that charges lower rates than those you're currently paying. Now, I can personally attest to this. Within the last couple of years, I've switched insurance providers for both home and auto, and I was able to save subsequently probably about $220 on homeowners insurance. And auto insurance, I was able to save probably about $300 a year. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, but $500 a year can go towards something else that I could save for. The next point that the article wants to make is live within your means. That means within your means. That doesn't mean live above your means. A lot of people think they're living within their means, but they're actually living at their means. If you're living at your means, that means that however much money you make is however much money you spend. That's not living within your means. Living within your means is really what they're trying to say is live below your means, which is if you make $2,000 a month, budget so that you're only spending $1,500 a month and you can save $500 a month. The bottom line is that staying above water until your next payday takes some effort, but it can be done when you follow some practical strategies. These include following a budget, finding ways to cut costs, avoiding spending that you don't need, and being disciplined. U.S. consumer confidence soured in February for the first time in 3 months. Americans' attitudes towards the economy soured in February after a 3-month streak of improving moods, according to the Conference Board's latest consumer survey released Tuesday. The drop in confidence was broad-based, affecting all income groups except households earning less than $15,000 and those earning more than $125,000. Kellogg's CEO, let them eat cornflakes for dinner. Let them eat cornflakes. appears to be Kellogg CEO Gary Pilnick's advice to cash-strapped shoppers who are spending the highest portion of their income on food than at any point in the last 30 years. His advice hasn't landed well with many frustrated people spending 26% more on groceries since 2020 on social media. The campaign has been seen as insensitive. Prices for groceries in restaurants have skyrocketed since the start of the pandemic. In 2022, consumers spent 11.3% of their disposable income on food, the highest level since 1991, and the Wall Street Journal reported last week, citing data from the U.S. Agriculture Department. Food brands are under fire right now. McDonald's also has become a regular target for social media users complaining about prices. Viral stories lamenting the cost of a Big Mac meal, particularly the ones $18 at a widely maligned Darien, Connecticut location off of I-95, have become a TikTok genre unto themselves. Now, I do have to admit that food prices are just out of this world right now.
Mia!
And part of it, I believe, is the actual inflation itself. But part of it, I believe, is just corporate greed and the companies deciding that they're going to raise their prices. They're shrinking the products down, but then they're charging more. So they're using shrinkflation along with inflation. And basically our dollar is just going a lot less further than it ever did. If you're looking at a 25% increase within the last 2 years on just your food costs, then that means that something else is not going to happen. You're not going to take the vacation that you normally did. You're not going to be able to go buy that new car. You're not going to be able to go clothes shopping. You're not going to be able to buy your kids things. So sacrifices do have to be made. Go back to the budget. I can't say that I personally would like to eat cereal for breakfast or for dinner, because I never really like breakfast food for dinner. But it's an idea if you're really in a position. Maybe you do it here and there to try to save a couple of dollars. Why not try it? The market has spoken as it has reacted to Kellogg Company's CEO saying that you should eat cereal or cornflakes for dinner. Kellogg Company down 81 cents for the day. So apparently the market has reacted negatively, and they don't want cereal for dinner. Mr. CEO Gary, they want a burger. They want chicken. They want pasta. Macys is closing 150 stores.
Mamma mia!
Wow. Macys is letting a new, smaller, but more luxurious look designed to turn around the troubled retailer and keep the century-and-a-half-old brand relevant to rapidly changing demands for shoppers. First, Macys will have to downsize. The company is closing 150 underperforming stores. 50 by the end of 2024, and the other 100 over the next few years. By 2026, it will have just 350 Macys stores. Second, the company will focus its successful Bloomingdale's and Blue Mercury brands, luxury stores that have outperformed the Macys brand. It will open more smaller versions of these stores over the next couple of years. Macys' turnaround strategy reflects the shift in retail and U.S. shoppers. As the middle class has shrunk in recent decades, the retail market has split. Lower-end stores focused on cost savings, such as Walmart, have done particularly well, but so have luxury brands, as shoppers with means have been able to keep up their spending despite higher prices. Now, I will have to admit, Macys is one of my favorite stores to go to. I love just walking around there. They've got a variety. I love going to department stores. So it's sad to hear that department stores are closing. However, over the course of time, many department stores have closed based on new consumer habits. People are able to buy things online more in the past that they did not have access to. And let's face it, the prices a lot of times online are just a lot cheaper. But if you do enjoy going to the store or going to the mall, you still have to go out and support your local retailers and spend a portion of your income with them so that they can stay in business. If everybody shopped online and no one ever went out to buy anything, then there's none of these stores could stay open. There would be no way. So I implore people that want to save money. Yeah, I get it. But you still have to go out and spend money with your traditional retailers. And that would include your mom and pop shops as well. Otherwise, we're going to have tons of more deserts and wastelands of shopping centers around the country. Let's see how the Macys Inc. stock has reacted to the market, and it is up 43 cents. So that must be great news. They close 150 stores and the stock goes up. Unbelievable. That just goes to show you how the market thinks, how these businesses, big businesses think. The stock market is not necessarily tied directly to the actual market. It's more or less tied to the confidence that they have within the stock itself.
Yeah,
Because let's be real. If the store is closing 150 stores, then realistically the stock price should drop that day, right? Right? I don't know. I'm no economist. I'm no stock guru, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me that the price of Macys would go up on bad news. When you look at the other rising costs such as food, gas, car insurance, homeowners insurance, renters insurance, all of your other costs that are skyrocketing, people don't necessarily have as much discretionary income to spend on entertainment such as video games. The other piece that I think is very interesting is that since AI companies are starting to be able to do a lot more, and you've got AI video from text, you've got AI video of editing, you've got AI basically being able to create scripts and do so many more things that were typically human jobs before. Companies are starting to just cut workers for cost savings. It makes sense that they would do that. From the human perspective, it doesn't necessarily, because everybody that wants a job should be able to have a job, and whatever job they have, they should be able to sustain themselves off of. However, wages are not sustainable for the cost of living for most Americans right now. And not just most Americans, most people in Canada, most people in Australia, most people in the UK, the wages are not keeping up with the actual cost of living. So when it comes to something like video games, maybe that's something that you could do without. I don't know, just something to think about. Let's check in on the Sony Group Corporation. Sony stock down 28 cents today. Not that bad, considering that you announced the layoff of 900 people. So a 28-cent stock decrease today, I don't know. But again, it goes to show you how unvalued people are, because the stock really doesn't take a hit, although the company takes a hit. And all of those people just lost their job today. So I guess you win some and you lose some. For everybody that's lost their job at Sony Group and you got the layoff notice, like and subscribe my channel. I gave good tips yesterday on what to do if you're laid off or fired. And definitely keep your head above water and update that resume and get right back out here. Or start your own business. That's gonna conclude the segment called Peach's Paycheck, where we try to give you tips on how to save money, tips on budgeting, but then also check in with the heartbeat of the economy so we can prepare for what's gonna come. In other reckless news, Wendys to roll out Uber-style surge pricing with menus fluctuating based on demand. What? Beginning as early as 2025, we will begin testing a variety of enhanced features on these digital menu boards like dynamic pricing, different offerings in certain parts of the day, AI-enabled menu changes, and suggestive selling based on factors such as weather.
Wow!
Dynamic pricing, also known as surge pricing, is when the price of a product or service fluctuates according to demand and other factors, such as a calling for an Uber ride during rush hour or bad weather.
Mamma mia!
He went on to argue dynamic pricing enables them to take that surplus away from consumers and put that into the firm's pocket. Ultimately, the biggest losers would be lunchtime customers. If people feel like they're getting gouged, they're not going to take kindly to this type of dynamic pricing strategy. Wendys will reportedly spend $20 million to implement this, along with the digital menu boards that will reflect fluctuating prices in real time.
Yeah,
Wow.
Peaches got it.
So you're telling me that depending on the time of day I go to Wendys, and also depending on whether or not it's raining or snowing out, or if it's too hot and Wendys has a lot of customers, or then I have to pay more for my Dave's double?
Mamma mia!
Wendys, that's reckless.
Wow!
Let's jump into the next segment. DK's Dummy of the Day. New Jersey business owner wore jacket bearing his name, phone number at Capitol riot. A New Jersey business owner wore a jacket bearing his name and phone number when he stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021, federal prosecutors alleged. Robert Capitelli, 27, was arrested Wednesday and charged with 4 misdemeanor counts of unlawfully entering the Capitol with the goal of disrupting the session of Congress. He had been on the FBI's radar since July 2021 when an anonymous tipster identified Capitelli thanks to his trademark jacket, which promoted his business, Capitelli Heavy Equipment Sales and Service.
Yeah, Peaches got it.
According to the federal arrest warrant. Although Capitelli's face was fairly disguised by his COVID mask and hat, the business's owner's name was clearly identified and visible on his left breast and plastered across his back.
Mamma mia!
Oh my goodness, Mr. Capitelli.
Wow!
Couldn't you go home and just change your jacket or something before you had to go down there and disrupt Congress? Now it's all on videotape. Now they're going to take you to trial. Are you going to plead innocent? What are we doing here, Mr. Capitelli? I hope you're well represented because, the evidence is right here. I'm sure they got other video of you, down here. But nonetheless, shout out to you, Mr. Capitelli. I definitely appreciate your effort with you going down there and standing up for your rights. And I definitely appreciate you advocating for freedom of speech and everything else. So I got to give you an A for effort, but I got to give you an F for execution because you should have went home and changed your jacket before you stormed the Capitol. And look at this guy back here in the Detroit's Lion hat with the pullover ears on the side. Do you think they could identify him? I don't think so. But then again, maybe they might be able to. If he attends Detroit Lions games and they have facial recognition at the Detroit Lions Stadium, Ford Field, then this guy, he's in jeopardy of being caught too and charged with the same 4 misdemeanors. So he might be joining you, Mr. Capitelli. Don't worry, you're not alone in this. Let's jump into our last segment, Yoshis Yumies. A doctor died after eating at Disney World restaurant and the staff confirmed the food was allergen-free, lawsuit alleges. A man is suing Walt Disney Parks and Resorts and Raglan Road Irish pub and restaurant after his wife, a New York-based doctor, suddenly died after eating at the restaurant. The lawsuit alleges the waitstaff was negligent and was aware of his wife's severe food allergies. According to the lawsuit, her husband dined at Raglan Road Irish Pub in Disney Springs in October 2023. They chose to eat at the restaurant, the lawsuit states, because they believed it would have proper safeguards against serving Tongson dairy and nuts, which he was allergic to. The waiter guaranteed the couple that certain foods could be made allergen-free, which to confirm several more times according to the lawsuit filed in Orange County, Florida. She ordered a vegan fritter, scallops, onion rings, and a vegan shepherd pie, the lawsuit said. Some of the food delivered lacked allergen-free flags, but the waiter again guaranteed the food was allergen-free. After dinner, Tongson went shopping in the Disney Springs area and began suffering from a severe acute allergic reaction while at Planet Hollywood, according to the lawsuit. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, I guess the safest place to be eating at is home. Stick to your budget. Make your food at home. Go home, eat. That's all you got to do. I mean, not only that, if you look at what they ordered, you know, the vegan fritter, okay, scallops, there's definitely a chance of something happening there. Onion rings, maybe not so much. I don't know, unless there was food contamination there. Vegan shepherd's pie, I don't know. I don't know what's in it. But nonetheless, a sad story. It's not anything to laugh at, to be quite honest. But did want to highlight the dangers of going out to eat at places and not necessarily knowing what is in their recipe. That's going to wrap it up for another edition of the Funtendo Market Report on this Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. It's been a blast. And remember, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Take that! Peachy! Bingo! Bye-bye!